Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name's Tom Novak, and today we're going to do something completely different. I know you see a lot of people putting moss on their bonsai trees, so I went out and I bought some Kyoto moss spores to try out. Little did I know there's a lot of things you got to do to grow this moss. First of all, the instruction says it likes humidity, coolness, shade, or indirect sun. You have to use a sterilized soil. It's got to be wet and about a ½ inch deep. You got to keep the culture indoors 4 weeks at 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The growth is visible after 4 to 6 weeks, and you should get a good coverage within 8 weeks. So what I did is I took some of these plastic pot bowls and I just put some holes in the bottom, and on the first layer at the bottom I put the Peace River gravel, the real fine one, and then I have 3 cups with Vermiculite, 3 with Coco Coir, and 3 with peat moss. They're all sterilized. And then if I have enough left, I got a cup with sand and a cup with worm castings, just to see what happens. Now in the book it says that, or in the instructions it says you're not supposed to use plastic or any other form of plastic to put them in. You're supposed to use a clay tray, but I don't have a clay tray, and I'm not about to go out and buy some clay pots. And I mean, if you're going to get a clay pot, they're about that big, and then you got to put that much soil in there, so it's not worth doing that. And then if you buy the little ones, so I think these little cups will come in handy. I got it from my cousin Kevin. He had a whole, I don't know, about 30 or 50 of them, so he gave me a bunch of them so I can use for my seedlings and stuff. So let's pull it out of the package and let's see what we got. First of all, these are the instructions. I don't know if you can see it, but they give you a whole bunch of stuff on there. Avoid plastic trays. Clay is the best. Use a spray bottle to lightly mist thoroughly from a distance of 1 foot above the culture. Prevent runoff. It says high levels of iron and zinc oxide in water is death to the moss. So I just take the water from the faucet, and then I use my dechlorinator for my aquariums, and I got to go from there. So let's pull out the moss. Here's the culture, what it looks like, the glare from the light. So let's see what we can sprinkle in here. First I'm going to do the vermiculite. I got 3 there, and here's the core. I got everything marked. Here's the peat moss. Almost looks like the core, so it's a good thing I marked everything. So what I'm going to do is open this up, and we're going to spread a little bit on each one. I don't know, this thing's got a lot of hard knocks on there, so to say. It's got a lot of clumps in here, so I don't know if it's the moss or it's the soil that they put it in. So if I can get some of this out, maybe that's just to hold it in. So what I'll do is take this clump here and sprinkle it into the top here, because I don't not know what's in this. If this is the part of the moss that's holding the spores in or not, but we gotta learn. The only way you learn is to try. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit in each one. It's supposed to cover a 12 by 36 inch tray. So I don't know if it comes out. And these are just little cups that I'm trying to cover. So spreading them and trying to get it in right. You think you'd have to use a shaker or something. Then you got to spray this every morning, keep it humid. Put a little bit in the sand, a little bit in the worm castings. Now they say this, you can't put fertilizer on here, so then how are you supposed to put fertilizer on your bonsai trees unless you water them from below? Well, we'll see. We'll experiment. If it comes up, we'll experiment. It's supposed to make your bonsai tree look real nice because it gives it a certain, it's supposed to be super dark green than other moss. Now I know Scott Winter from Let's Do Bonsai is supposed to do a nice video on moss, and Nigel Saunders from the Bonsai Zone has a good moss growing in his bonsai trees. So will this be worth it? I don't know. We'll try it. We got nothing to lose. And time ain't gonna hurt because all this is going to be into little tray, so I don't have to worry about it being in direct sun or nothing. In the basement, I'm going to put it against an a north window where it just gets the light between the houses, and it's all indirect light, so it should be good. And the basement's always humid, so it's a perfect environment for this moss to grow in. So I don't know what's soil, what's spores, but we try it. We got nothing to lose. Who knows what's going to grow and how it's going to grow. It doesn't hurt. Now it says after you do this, you're supposed to water it real good, but from the top. So nice fine spray. You want everything good and moist, and your soil has to be good and moist before you sprinkle it on there. And it says to prevent runoff. While we're in the tray, and we're in these little cups, so there ain't going to be no runoff coming from it. So in the base, I got a nice tray with no holes over here. It's just got the ridges so the cups will sit on there real nice. Getting a good water, good spray like it says. And every morning I'll give it a nice little mist, make sure it's not drying out. And then in about 4 to 6 weeks, we'll find out what happens. So it's Thursday, June 24th of 2021 at 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 degrees Celsius. It's been raining on and off. We're supposed to get a good thunderstorm tonight around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So it comes, it comes. What are you going to do? But here's how the moss looks on the vermiculite. So let's see what happens. So you know what? Today is Thursday night. It's a little after 10 o'clock. So I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, go through some of my books, sitting in my favorite chair, sit down and relax, do the same, and enjoy the rest of the evening and enjoy a good book with a nice hot cup of tea in your favorite easy chair. You take care, everybody, and thank you for coming to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors.